So the theme of this year's edition of Vienna Digital Cultures is a question, and that question is alone or together. This feels like a really important question at this moment because obviously in the frame of the ongoing war in Ukraine, across our doorstep, the conflicts worldwide, the question of solidarity, the question of how we feel connected maybe to places and people who are maybe physically far from us, gets complicated because we're all connected through these systems, these economic systems, these digital systems, and likewise. So there's a fundamental question there about, solidarity and a collective feeling that is, posed there. And I think that's an important one in the frame of our location here at the Fotoarsenal, which is in the campus of the HGM, this kind of military sort of edifice. But of course, it relates to digital technology as well. And war, of course, it involves a lot of digital technologies. But it also, it seems to me that Silicon Valley promises us connectivity, through communication devices, but also through things like social media. But as we are living more and more in these platforms, we start to see that it is not always guaranteed that we feel more close to people, even if we're online. We can be stuck in our filter bubbles. We can be, consuming merely, advertisements and AI slop. We don't even know necessarily if the content we're seeing is real people or AI-generated avatars. So the question of how connected we really are, or how together we are online, is a massive one. But by the same token, when we are standing in an empty field, we seem to be alone, but there are also satellites above our head, there are Wi-Fi signals, we are being tracked by the phones in our pocket. So I think the fundamental distinction between being alone and being together is blurred today. And this is a really interesting problematic for culture, and I think this is what we want to explore in this festival. I think after the pretty categorical title and theme, Model Collapse, last year, it was important not to be banging the same drum, and that's why it changed from a statement to a question. The title, Alone or Together, is a question, and you can answer that however you want. And I hope that we can answer that question in a positive frame. And so yes, indeed, the festival is not coming down on one side or another. We're exploring this question from different angles, around different digital media, and in some cases we're even looking at spiritual questions in the frame of Liu Yang's trilogy, the Doku trilogy.